Just thinking. Ah, hi, Foy.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. I love when I click the button. It goes, it's showtime. I'm like, I feel like I should have jazz hands, right? Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. How's Savannah? How's Savannah treating you today?
Oh, I love Savannah. People are great. And of course, the culture and diversity and the trees
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
history. It's great.
And Amy says, hi, Foy.
Oh, hi, Amy. She's a
Oh,
good girl.
she is a good girl. I think we'll keep her. Yeah, we'll keep her around. And as I was mentioning, I'm in Vermont, which is absolutely gorgeous. Love. So this scenery behind me is Vermont. We are here to talk about soft skills today.
My
And
favorite topic.
I know you're the queen. You are the queen of soft skills.
I don't know if I'm the queen, but I'm definitely pretty annoying when it comes to soft skills. That's all I
So
talk about.
I know, but I love that. I mean, you're super. I remember when we first met, you've always been, always been passionate about this topic.
Yep. Yep.
So I like to start with a fun fact. So this is from Sherm. This is from, I was poking around, and Sherm said that there's just shy of 70%. So I think it's 89% of recruiters and hiring managers say that when a team doesn't fit the environment, the group, that your people, it's because of soft skills.
Yeah, they look to, yep. I completely believe that.
I mean, almost 90%.
Yeah, it's
90%. Oh, look what Amy
yeah,
did here. This is awesome. She put the queen of soft skills. You got
got a crown. I love it.
So, okay, for people that are watching this now or that are going to watch this later, define that, because I mean, this term soft skills has been out there forever,
Yeah,
right? And we've
yeah,
talked about it. Is it the right term? What does
right,
it mean? People get
right.
confused.
Yep, yep.
How would you define it?
Okay, so we can call it whatever we want to call it. Some people hate the term soft skills. You know what? Call it business skills. All I know is they are essential. And to have a successful business, they should be a priority.
Yeah.
So what they are is really traits, personal traits that we need to use in the workplace and in life to communicate effectively and to make things harmonious. That's what we want. We
That's a
want
big,
that.
I love that word,
Yep.
harmonious. I mean,
Yep.
and working together and collaborating and,
It's a win-win for everybody if we have good soft skills. And it can make or break. It really can. And it's so important, soft skills. It has to be in any business, whether it's a staff of 5 people or 5,000. It really is.
So I'll give it. I'll share a story because this is actually pretty entertaining.
Sure.
Yesterday, Jay and me and his nephew went to this little country town, the general store, and we were getting lunch. Right, so we went up to the deli, and I think they were getting sandwiches. I was getting a salad, and Jay's just trying to have an interaction with the gal that was serving us. And it was dry, and she didn't want to be there at all. You could tell she was not engaged. She wasn't interested in communicating with any of us. And we got back, and Jamie goes, gee, somebody has some personality. She's loving her job, not right. And
right.
Just something as simple as that.
Right.
That's an excellent example of we didn't feel welcome.
Right.
We didn't feel welcome. We didn't feel like she wanted us there.
Right.
We wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. It was not a great experience. It wasn't a great experience. It wasn't harmonious, right? It wasn't like interesting.
And like, I'm sure like it didn't wreck your day, but you still were talking about it after the fact.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
And that's the thing. But flip it around now, okay?
Okay.
And imagine this. Imagine going out to dinner with your spouse, Jay,
Yep.
your boyfriend, whoever it
Yep.
may be. And, or better yet, let's do it even bigger than that. Let's say you go on vacation and you go to a hotel, and you travel a lot, Michelle.
Yep. Yep.
And let's say you get to the front desk and they welcome you and they are so great. They get I forget what you call them, the porter or whatever, to get your bags.
Yeah.
They take you up to the room. The room is impeccable, spotless. So that means the housekeeping staff did a phenomenal job. Then you go out to the pool and the lifeguard says hi to you. Then there's a bar and the bartender makes you an extra special pina colada
Right.
with that extra dollop of whipped cream and is smiling. Okay.
Now I want to drink Foy. Thanks.
Right. Right. And then you go to the restaurant that night and the hostess greets you and she just seems so happy and she gives you a perfect little table in the corner, not next to the kitchen door. You know what I mean? Things like that. You go to bed that night and you have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
The next day you wake up and you're like in this great mood and you're talking about the service and everything. It just made that experience for you, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to realize that it was every person involved really had something to do with your experience. So what happened to you yesterday, you know, like she didn't realize the impact she had. Yes, she might have had a bad day, but it doesn't matter. When you're in customer service, you have to leave that crap at home and you got to buck up and realize the customer service. Now, who knows, you know, what the rest of the staff was like and what the managers were like, but because it has to start at the top. And there's you know, for me with this pandemic, I realized that there's really got to be a shift. There's got to be a pivot here. You know, we often talk about the people, and let's not pick on hospitality. We could be talking about a dental office.
Sure. I mean, it's everywhere.
Right.
It's anywhere. It's everywhere. Just like
Right.
the, the general store. I mean, it's a simple example, but I mean, it's essential to every business, every piece of work. You
Yep.
name it.
Yes.
Name it.
Right. You walk into a dental office, and first of all, you don't want to be at the dentist anyway. You know how, you know, that kind of stirs up emotions there. But you want that person at the front desk to be happy and to greet you and to kind of treat you a little extra special. You just want that. Everybody wants that. Everyone wants to be liked, you know? So, what was my point here?
Well, you were so I love that. So you were talking about it starts at the top.
Right.
Let's talk about a team leader, right? So that's probably because we could pick on the CEOs or CFOs or the executives, but let's go in the middle.
Yes, mid-managers.
Let's go in the middle. Let's go, or leaders of a team.
Yeah.
So if you're a leader of a team, how do you create an environment and experience that you're infusing those soft skills? What's your recommendation for how a leader can do that?
That's a great question. They need to walk the walk, talk the talk. Training is not just a one and done thing. I know that there's companies and organizations that will get an outside consultant, or they might have somebody internal that will come in and do like a workshop. Okay, great. Right. And then they're done, and then next year they set it up again.
And then supposedly everybody's good to go, right?
No.
You do it once a year, check the box. It's like compliance.
Right. And they do like a team building, couple team building, things, throw out candy, whatever, they're done.
Right. I love that. Throw out candy. Is it a parade, Boy?
It doesn't work that way anymore. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be followed up. It has to be more than one. It's got to be, I don't know, maybe every quarter. I don't know how they want to do it. It's up to the organization. But the managers, they are the ones that the people under them are looking at them. And they are the ones that could make the culture toxic or not toxic. They're the ones that can fix the problem. So training and development. That's my
That's your thing. That's your thing.
yep.
That's your thing. And so what I want to tease out there is you talked about, and so Susan's watching. See, soft skills are so important. Love Foy's message. Thank you, Susan. Good to see you here. It yes, there's the training and development component, right? So and I agree, it shouldn't just be a one and done experience on an annual basis. Quarterly is a great idea, but Amy talks about this all the time. One of the things that we talk about is leading by example. So, let's go back to the general store. I keep picking on that poor gal. She probably had a horrible day. Right. She had a horrible, horrible day. But, the leading by example is, being in a position to treat others the way they wish to be treated. Right. So, and so, having a smile on your face. So this morning I went to Tuttle's in Wells River, had breakfast, and I walk into this cafe, this diner,
Right.
and immediately I'm greeted. Hi, how are you? Big smile, right? Big smiles. And there's locals in there. What can I get you? She comes, she gives me coffee. She goes, oh, I love your nails, right?
There you go. There you go.
She's engaging with me. She's
exactly.
I feel welcome. I felt like it was the breakfast version of Cheers, honestly.
Right. No, that's so true. That I hate to sound. I'm not a warm and fuzzy person, but I
Sure you
love.
are. Yes, you are.
I love people, and that TLC that she gave you. Like, I love that. I do. And I love when people aren't afraid to compliment other people and to engage, and they mean it. They mean it. It's not a fake thing. They just want to, put it out there and engage. I love that about that person. Yeah.
So here's a question. Here's a good question. So what
Yeah.
if you're having a shitty day, right? What if you're having a shitty day and you're like, I don't want to be that. I have no interest in
Fake it.
Okay. All right.
Fake
So
it.
is that one of the ways to just, fake
Yeah.
it until you make it if you're really having a hard time?
If you're in customer service, you gotta fake it. You do. And I don't mean be insincere, but you have to go into your toolbox and you got to realize why you're hired, what you're there for. And you got to pull out of that toolbox the things that you know how to do. And you got to put the smile on, and you got to remember that the thing that's making your day shitty, leave it at home, leave it at the door, leave it in the car, in the parking lot, whatever, and pull out the things in the toolbox that you need to get you through that day. Now, if it's not customer service, let's say it's in IT, you know, that's the time, and even in any sector, that's the time where you need to tell your manager that you need 5 minutes to go for a walk, or you need to go meditate, or the other things that make you, to shift whatever's going on. So that, I mean, mental health is important. It really is. And there's, of course, we all have shitty days, and we're not perfect. And you know what? Making mistakes and our flaws is a great learning, learning tool. So that's my recommendation.
I'm checking my phone only because that I took a picture of this, so I want to share it because it's top of mind. You just hit on it, and hopefully you can see it. Where's the camera? Can you see that?
There's a clear.
Hold on, there we go. Mistakes are, what does it say? Mistakes are proof that you are trying.
Yep.
Yep. Mistakes are proof that you are trying.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just exactly what you just said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you're going to make mistakes. If you are having a bad day and you do bring it into work, then and you are working with a team, or you're a team member on the team that you splash that off of somebody else, then it's okay to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm not in a good space. give me some, can you give me some space, right?
Right, right, right. Another good thing to do is get with a person, and you'll know who that is really good, that is really positive. There are people that um, wherever in a huddle that are the positive people, and get with them. Don't get with the negative people. Seek out the positive people, because when you start complaining and you get with the negative group, then it really becomes a
Right you
toxic
down.
work environment. I I that like that's my staple. I never ever try to get with the negative people where you're complaining and stuff. I stick with the positive. I really do.
Like,
Yep.
bye, Felicia.
Exactly. Exactly.
Amy writes, as Michelle would say, suck it up, buttercup.
There
So
you go. Suck it
so
up.
I
Yep.
gotta suck it up.
Buck up.
So what's your take on, I don't know, what are your, in your opinion, the top 3 soft skills that are the most important? What would you say?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me this. Um, as I was saying before, and I think that I didn't finish my thought there. There's been a shift, with the pandemic,
Yeah,
and
you were talking about that.
yeah, so um, I think communication, of course, has always been one of the top soft skills.
Mhm.
So that will stay for me as one of the top ones. But one that I think has really bumped up is adapting. I think
So
adapting.
resilience, would you use, like, is
Sure.
adaptability resilience?
Yep.
Same thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Adapting, because now with working hybrid or remote, um, people have to learn to adapt, and some people have already done it and done a great job. Some people have done it and are still learning. They're failing,
Mhm.
but they're learning. I think employers are really looking at people with great adaptation skills, or who are resilient.
Yep.
So that would be my second one: communication, adaptation. And then the third one,
Oh,
this
it's
is
hard, isn't it? It's so
it
hard. You're like,
is
there's so many, and you're gonna only let me pick 3?
I know
You
it,
can have
it
4 if you want.
okay. Okay. It goes back and forth with emotional intelligence, of course, because I'm a
That's
big believer in, put yourself in other people's shoes. Um, and then creativity. Creativity. But
Oh,
I want to put in there a positive attitude, but that just
that's one
goes
of my
without saying.
favorites. I love
Creativity.
creativity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Creativity. And I
Nice.
really do think now, I mean, look at what happened during the pandemic in the beginning. Like, people were like, employers were looking to like sell products one way, or roll out something. Then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and some of them were like, oh shit. And
Yeah.
they shifted, and they said, well, you know what? Let's do it this way since this happened. Like, let's make masks instead of doing this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
feed the masses. So
That's
creativity.
creativity. That's creativity and adaptability.
Yeah, yeah. There you
That's
go.
both. That's
Yep.
both. You can slam them
Yep.
together. All right, that's a really nice list. So, okay, what if people say, I suck at this, right? I just suck at this. Or, as I said to, I was the tail end of my visit with my family. I'm like, I'm done peopling, right? If I'm like, if I'm not, I don't want to be peopling. What do
Right.
you
I love
want to do?
that.
You like that? Peopling. I'm done
Yeah.
peopling. I don't want to people anymore. I don't want to do any more peopling. Um,
Right.
what, what, how do people, how does one, if somebody's watching this, how does one help themselves or help their team members increase their soft skills, improve their soft skills? I mean, we talked about training and development, right? So, I mean, that they
Yeah.
can take that out. Leaders can lead by example, as can individuals.
Right.
What other things can people do to hone these skills if they think they suck at them?
Right. Oh,
Good question.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. I would think that, gosh, when you take out peopling. um, I'm trying to think of what. That is such a good question. I would think that you know, yeah. I mean, there's some people that are researchers. I mean, I like to research too. I know you're a big
I
researcher,
am. I totally am.
so
Yep.
I think that that is always a great path to go is to research. Um,
How to do something.
yeah, and there are
Okay.
so many articles about soft skills, like really interesting ones. Like for instance, this was back in like 2013. Google did this project. It was called Project Oxygen. Do you know about this?
No, tell me more. I've not heard about this.
It was very cool. They decided, I don't know why they decided, but they decided to look at their hiring process and to look at their employees and to
Hmm.
take data on their hiring, their firing, their promotion, um, the qualities of their top employees. They took all the data and they analyzed it, and they realized that a lot of the Google people that they hired were really good at their STEM, the
Yeah, science,
technology, hard skills, all
technology.
that.
Yep, yep, yep.
However, they like surveyed them and everything, and they realized that STEM was last on the list, and what was the top qualities was soft skills. It was all soft skills.
Mm.
So reading those kind of things, I think would help people and be like a light bulb might go off, and that would trigger them to be like, oh, I need to try that. You know,
Nice. That's it.
so
I love that. I love so there's the if you feel like you're deficient, or maybe you've gotten some feedback in a specific area about a particular,
yeah,
like maybe, I mean, maybe your emotional intelligence is a little lower than it
yeah,
could be, and doing some research, but then the testing of it, the trying of it. And how I've worked with people in the past to say, try it on your family first, because
right,
you
right,
generally have a little bit more room to
yeah,
wiggle
yeah,
room, play to, because if you flub up with your family, you're going to generally get a bit more
yeah,
grace, or your
yeah,
friends, right? Friends too, right? And say, hey, I'm trying to improve my skills in XYZ. Can
yes,
you help
that's a
me
great
and
idea.
call me out on it, or actually, say, I've noticed a change in you, and here's what I've noticed, because then that will help me improve in these particular areas.
Definitely, definitely. Like that kind of reminds me also of taking like strength, that strength assessment.
Mhm.
Um, I forget what it's called, but I think it's like the strength assessment or any of those kind of assessment, personality assessments.
Sure.
I love taking those.
I do
Like
too.
I love taking those personality things. That's another cool thing that people who don't necessarily like to go out and network or
Right.
peopling, which I love
Yep.
now. I'm
Yeah,
going to start
I know you're
using
gonna
that.
start using that, right?
Yeah.
Peopling. I don't wanna
They
be peopling anywhere right
right. But if they want to take those assessments, they could do that and see where they fall and what their maybe weakest or lowest um, character trait or personality trait is,
now.
and work on that. But I love your idea of asking family or friends. Ask
Right.
your best friend, look, be transparent. Tell me what I need to work on. I mean, I
Okay.
certainly know what I need to work on.
Well, I think it's funny. We use a character strengths assessment. So if anybody is interested in that, that's watching, hit me
That's
up.
right.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
we use that. Love that, and that tells us what our top five character strengths assessment, top five character strengths are, and then
Yeah.
there's what's in the middle and what's at the bottom. But it doesn't mean that we're not capable of using the other
Right.
other character strengths. It's just we don't call on them as much.
Right. Right.
I Do you know if there's like a soft skills assessment? Is there anything
Um,
out there? That's a
yeah,
good question.
I can't think off the top of my head. Um, I probably have some on my shelf. I'd have to get back to you,
Yeah,
but
yeah, get back to me. Let me know because I'd love to post it. I mean, if there is
yeah,
something like that, it would be neat to I'd take it. You'd take it, right? Maybe
yeah,
you have taken it, you just don't remember.
yeah, exactly. No,
Oh,
I will definitely send that information to you. I'll do some research.
there we go. That's awesome. This was really good. I mean, this is really helpful for, I think, companies, for team leaders, for people that maybe like to people or they don't like peopling and they're learning new skills.
Right.
Because I'm still blown away by that fact that 89% of failed hires or getting people on the team, and it falls apart because of what we're talking about. I
Yep.
mean, that's a really strong statistic from SHRM.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
nuts.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share? I mean, this has been amazing. Anything else that you want to share for folks that are watching now or that are going to watch later?
I just think that if our leaders, you know, invest in soft skills training, I think they would see a return of investment, actually a return on learning. I think they will see that. And I
And
think it'll,
the
right.
experience that they're trying to create for their people, their customers, their business, right?
Yes.
That's true too.
Yes. And they'll see a more harmonious work environment. It'll the productivity will be better, and I mean it'll just be a happier environment. And who doesn't want to wake up and whether you go into work or you just go to your to the other room and flip open your thing and get on Zoom, but you want
Yeah.
to be happier and just you know yeah, just
Engaged.
right, enjoy and engage. Exactly. Exactly.
So you do this, you're the queen of soft skills and
All
you do
right.
training and development. How can people reach you?
Um, they can reach me. I can actually leave this on here too.
Awesome.
So yeah, I will leave my email, foyst22@gmail.com.
Excellent.
Excellent. They can reach me that way. You think that's good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
of
course.
course. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'll be happy to talk to anybody about it and steer them in the right direction. Yeah, I do I do consultations,
Mhm.
and yeah, I can be found, and we'll get back to them right away.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you, Foy, for the time.
absolutely. Thank you for the
And
great questions. You are really good. You're the queen of
I'm the queen of questions. I'll be the queen of questions. You can be the queen of soft skills, and I'll be the queen of questions. That's fantastic. Oh, this was so much fun. I enjoy you. You're such a beautiful human.
Oh, Michelle, thank you. Thank you so much. I love our friendship.
Me too. All right. Well, I will say goodbye to you today, and you have a fantastic day.
All right, talk to you soon. Go out there and people.
I will. I like peopling as a general rule.
I know.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye, my
Bye bye.
dear. See you
Bye,
later.
everyone. Thanks for showing
Thanks for
up.
watching.